Good morning everyone. Kiran Mai at Government College. Now we are going to discuss about damped oscillations. When a body capable of vibration is displaced from its position of equilibrium and then released, in case of an ideal harmonic, the amplitude of vibration remains constant for an infinite time. Such vibrations are called free vibrations, and the frequency of vibration is called as natural frequency. In practice, the vibrations of a freely vibrating body gradually diminish in amplitude and ultimately die away. The reason being that the oscillating system is always subjected to fractional forces arising from air resistance. Such vibrations are known as damped vibrations. When a body is made to vibrate by an external periodic force, the body at first tries to vibrate with its own natural frequency, but ultimately it vibrates with the frequency of applied force. Such forces are called forced vibrations. The forced vibrations after the removal of external periodic force becomes free and die out in due course of time. When a body is set into oscillations by an external periodic force of the same frequency as the natural frequency of the body, the amplitude of oscillation is very much increased. Such vibrations are called sympathetic vibrations or resonant vibrations. The phenomenon is called as resonance. Thus, resonance is a special case of forced vibrations. Radio tuning is an example of resonance. Due to damping, the period of oscillation increases and frequency decreases. The damping can be minimized, but it cannot be completely avoided. Any measuring instrument is said to be critically damped when it takes up its equilibrium position in the shortest possible time. The quality factor of an oscillator is defined as the ratio of energy of the oscillator to the energy lost per radian of the angular frequency. That is, Q equals to 2 pi into maximum energy stored in oscillator divided by energy dissipated in one period. So the quality factor is a dimensionless parameter which specifies the degree of damping. The quality factor of an electrical oscillator depends upon the values of inductance and capacitance. Distinction between free and forced vibrations. Free vibrations of a body takes place under the influence of its own elastic forces without being acted upon by any external force. On the other hand, the forced vibrations of a body takes place due to the action of a periodic force applied externally. Due to the damping effect of fractional forces, the free vibrations die in course of time while the forced vibrations persist as long as the applied periodic force acts on the body. The frequency of vibrations depends upon the mass, shape, and elasticity of the body, while the frequency of forced vibrations is independent of these factors and is equal to the frequency of applied periodic force. Free vibrations may occur with any amplitude. In the presence of damping forces, the amplitude goes on decreasing. In case of forced vibrations, the amplitude is small except in the special stages when resonance takes place. Next is damped harmonic oscillator. For an ideal harmonic oscillator, the amplitude of vibration remains constant for an infinite time. When a body vibrates in air or in any other medium which offers resistance to its motion, the amplitude of vibration decreases gradually and ultimately the body comes to rest. This is due to the fact that the body is subjected to frictional forces arising from air resistance. The motion of the body is known as dampened simple harmonic motion. An example for this is if we displace a pendulum from its equilibrium position, it will oscillate with a decreasing amplitude and finally comes to rest in a equilibrium position. Expression for the period and amplitude of a damped harmonic oscillator. A restoring force which is proportional to displacement but oppositely directed. This is written as minus mu x, where mu is constant of proportionality or force constant. A frictional force proportional to velocity but oppositely directed. This may be written as minus r into dx by dt, where r is the frictional force per unit velocity. Since force equals to mass into acceleration, m into d square x by dt square. Therefore, the equation of motion of particle is given by m d square x by dt square equals to minus mu x into minus r dx by dt. Therefore, d square x by dt square plus r by m into dx by dt plus mu by m into x equals to 0, where r by m can be replaced by 2b and mu by m equal can be written as omega square. Therefore, d square x by dt square plus 2b dx by dt plus omega square x equals to 0. Therefore, the above differential equation of second degree, let its solution be x equals to a into e power alpha t, where capital A and alpha are arbitrary constants. Differentiating the above equation, dx by dt equals to a into alpha into e power alpha t and d square x by dt square equals to a into alpha square into e power alpha t. Substituting these values, we get a alpha square e power alpha t plus 2b into a into alpha into e power alpha t plus omega square into a into e power alpha t equals to 0. Therefore, a into e power alpha t is not equals to 0. Therefore, alpha square plus 2b alpha plus omega square equals to 0. Alpha equals to minus b plus or minus under root b square minus omega square. The general solution of the above equation will be x equals to a1 into e power minus b plus under root b square minus omega square into t plus a2 into e power minus b minus under root b square minus omega square into t, where a1 and a2 are arbitrary constants. Depending upon the relative values of b and omega, following three cases are possible. Case 1. Overdamped motion. When b square is greater than omega square, in this case, under root b square minus omega square is real and less than b. Now the powers minus b plus under root b square minus omega square and minus b minus under root b square minus omega square both are negative. Thus, this displacement x consists of two terms, both dying off exponentially to 0 without performing any oscillations as shown in figure. The rate degrees of displacement is governed by the term minus b plus under root b square minus omega square into t. As the other term reduces to 0, quickly relative to it. In this case, the body once displaced returns to its equilibrium position quite slowly without performing any oscillation. This type of motion is called as overdamped or deadbeat. This type of motion is shown by a pendulum moving in a thick oil or by a dead beat moving coil galvanometer. Critical damping. When b square equals to omega square, we put b square equals to omega square in the above equation, then the solution does not satisfy the differential equation. Let us consider that under root b square minus omega square is not 0, but this is equal to a very small quantity h, that is under root b square minus omega square equals to h tends to 0. Now the above equation reduces to x equals to a1 into e power minus b plus h into t plus a2 into e power minus b of b minus h into t. By solving that, we get e power minus bt into p plus qt, where p equals to a1 plus a2 and q equals to h into a1 minus a2. The above equation represents a possible form of solution. It is clear from the above equation that as t increases, the factor p plus qt increases, but the factor e power minus bt decreases. In this way, the displacement x first decreases due to the factor p plus qt, but at the same time a reversal occurs due to the exponential term e power minus bt, and the displacement approaches 0 as t increases. It also clear that in this case the exponent is minus bt, while in the first case it was more than minus bt. Hence, in this case, the particle tends to acquire its position of equilibrium much more rapidly than in case 1. Such a motion is called critical damped motion. This type of motion is exhibited by many pointer instruments such as voltmeter, ammeter, etc., in which the pointer moves to the correct position and comes to rest without any oscillation in a minimum time. Under damped motion, when b square is less than omega square, in this case under root b square minus omega square is imaginary. Let us write under root b square minus omega square equals to I into under ib, where beta equals to under root omega square minus b square and I equals to under root minus 1. X equals to a1 into e power minus b plus I beta into t plus a2 into e power minus b minus I beta into t. By solving that, we get e power minus bt into a sin phi cos beta t plus a cos phi sin beta t, where a sin phi equals to a1 plus a2 and a cos phi equals to I into a1 minus a2. Therefore, a into e power minus beta t sin under root omega square minus b square into t plus phi. This equation represents the simple harmonic motion with amplitude a into e power minus bt and time period t equals to 2 pi by beta equals to 2 pi by under root omega square minus b square. The amplitude of the motion is continuously decreasing owing the factor e power minus bt, which is called the damping factor. Because of the value of sine varies from plus 1 and minus 1, therefore the amplitude also varies between a into e power minus bt and minus a into e power minus bt. The decay of the amplitude depends upon the damping coefficient small b. It is called under damped motion. In this case, the period is slightly increased or frequency decreased because the period is now 2 pi by under root omega square minus b square, while in the absence of damping it was a 2 pi by omega. The example of this type of motion is the motion of pendulum in air, the motion of coil of ballistic galvanometer, or the electric oscillations of LCR circuit. Next is power dissipations in damped harmonic oscillator. Whenever a system is set into oscillations, its motion is opposed by fractional forces due to air resistance. The work done against these forces is dissipated out in the form of heat. So, the mechanical energy of the system continuously decreases with the time and amplitude of oscillation gradually decay to zero. Here, we obtain an expression for this power dissipation from the oscillation. The displacement of damped harmonic oscillator at any time is given by alpha equals to a into e power minus bt sine under root omega square minus b square into t plus phi. The instantaneous velocity is given by dx by dt equals to minus a into ab into e power minus bt sine omega dash t plus phi plus a omega dash e power b minus bt cos omega dash t plus phi. In practice, damping is very small, that is very less than omega. Hence, the term minus a b e power minus bt sine omega dash t plus phi can be neglected in comparison of the term a omega dash e power minus bt cos omega dash t plus phi. Therefore, dx by dt will be equals to a omega dash e power minus bt cos omega dash t plus phi. The mechanical energy E of the oscillator is given by E equals to kinetic energy plus potential energy. That is half m dx by dt whole square plus a half mu x square. Substituting, we get E equals to half a square omega e power minus 2bt. This shows that the energy of oscillator decreases with the time. We know that the rate of which the energy is lost is defined as power dissipation P. Hence, P equals to minus dE by dt. Therefore, by solving that will be equals to 2PE. This represents the power dissipation in damped harmonic oscillator. Next is logarithmic decrement relaxation time factor. Logarithmic decrement. Logarithmic decrement measures the rate at which the amplitude dies away. The amplitude of damped harmonic oscillator is given by amplitude equals to a into e power minus bt and with t equals to 0, a naught equals to a. Let a1, a2, a3 be amplitudes at time t equals to t2, t3, t respectively, where t equals to period of oscillation. Then a1 equals to a into e power minus bt, a2 equals to a into e power minus b into 2t, like that so on. From these equations, a naught by a1 equals to a1 by a2 equals to a2 by a3 equals to so on e power bt, that is e power lambda, where bt equals to lambda. Lambda is known as logarithmic decrement. Taking natural logarithms, we get lambda equals to log a naught by a1 to the base e equals to log a1 by a2 to the base e. Thus, logarithmic decrement is defined as the natural logarithmic of the ratio between two successive maximum amplitudes which are separated by one period. Relaxation time. The relaxation time is defined as the time taken for the total mechanical energy to decay to 1 by E of its original value. The mechanical energy of damped harmonic oscillator is given by E equals to half a square mu 2 e power minus 2 bt. Now E equals to E naught into e power minus 2 bt, where E naught equals to half a square mu. Let tau be the relaxation time, that is at t equals to tau, E equals to E naught by E. Substituting that, we get minus 1 equals to minus 2b tau. Therefore, tau equals to 1 by 2b. From both the equations, we get E equals to E naught into e power minus t by tau. The expression of power dissipation can be written as P equals to E by tau. Quality factor. The quality factor is defined as 2 pi times the ratio of energy stored in the system to the energy lost per period. Therefore, Q equals to 2 pi into energy stored in system divided by energy lost per period. That is 2 pi into E by Pt, where P is power dissipated and T is periodic time. We know that P equals to E by tau, where tau is relaxation time. Therefore, Q equals to omega into tau, where omega equals to 2 pi by tau. 2 pi by T, that is angular frequency. Now, from the above equation, higher is the value of Q, higher would be the value of relaxation time tau, that is lower damping. Next is forced vibrations. We have discussed the vibrations in which the body vibrates at its own frequency without being subjected to any other external force. However, a different situation arises when the body is subjected to an external force. Example, consider the vibrations of bridge under the influence of marching soldiers, or vibrations of a tuning fork when exposed to the periodic force of sound waves. In both the cases, the body vibrates because it is subjected to an external periodic force. Such vibrations are called forced vibrations. Forced vibrations can be defined as the vibrations in which the body vibrates with a frequency other than its natural frequency under the action of an external periodic force. Theory of forced vibrations. The forces acted upon the particle are a restoring force proportional to the displacement but oppositely directed, that is minus mu x, where mu is known as force constant. A fractional force proportional to velocity but oppositely directed, which is given by minus r into dx by dt, where r is fractional force per unit velocity and the external periodic force represented by F sin pt, where F is the maximum value of this force and P by 2 pi is its frequency. So, the total force acting upon the particle is given by minus mu x minus r dx by dt plus F sin pt. By Newton's second law of motion, this must be equal to the product of mass m of the particle and its instantaneous acceleration, that is m d square x by dt square. Hence, m into d square x by dt square equals to minus mu x minus r dx by dt plus f sin pt. Therefore, d square x by dt square plus 2b dx by dt plus omega square x equals to f sin pt, where r by m equals to 2b, mu by m equals to omega square and f by m equals to small f. This is the differential equation of the motion of the particle. In this case, when the steady state is set up, the particle vibrates with the frequency of applied force and not with its own natural frequency. The solution of differential equation must be x equals to a sin pt minus theta, where capital A is the steady amplitude of vibrations and theta is the angle by which the displacement x lags behind the applied force F sin pt. A and theta being arbitrary constants. Differentiating, we have dx by dt equals to a cos pt minus theta, d square x by dt square equals to minus a p square sin pt minus theta. Substituting, we get f sin pt minus theta cos theta plus f cos pt minus theta sin theta. This relation holds good for all the values of t. The coefficients of sin pt minus theta and cos pt minus theta terms on both sides of this equation must be equal. That is, comparing the coefficients of sin and cos on both sides, we have a omega square minus p square equals to f cos theta, 2b ap equals to f sin theta. Squaring and adding the both equations, we get a equals to f by under root omega square minus p square whole square plus 4b square p square. While on dividing the equations one upon the other, tan theta equals to 2bp by omega square minus p square. Theta equals to tan inverse of 2bp by omega square minus p square. Substituting the values of a, x equals to f by under root omega square minus p square whole square plus 4b square p square into sin pt minus theta. The equation gives the amplitude of forced vibration while theta equation gives its phase. Depending upon the relative values of p and omega, the following are the three cases are possible. Case 1. When driving frequency is low, that is p will be much less than omega. In this case, the amplitude of vibration is given by a equals to f by omega square, that is constant. The amplitude of vibration is independent of frequency force. This amplitude depends on the magnitude of the applied force and force constant mu. The force and displacement are always in phase. Case 2. When p equals to omega, that is, frequency of the force is equal to the frequency of the body. In this case, the amplitude of vibration is given by a equals to f by r omega, theta equals to tan inverse of infinity, that is pi by 2. Thus, the amplitude of vibration is governed by damping, and for small damping forces, the amplitude of vibration will be quite large. The displacement lags behind the force by phase pi by 2. Case 3. When p is greater than omega, that is, the frequency of force is greater than the natural frequency of the body, a equals to f by mp square, theta equals to tan inverse of minus 0, that is pi. Thus, in this case, the amplitude a goes on decreasing and phase difference tends towards pi.